Welcome to the Checkout Point, your quick dive into this week's e-commerce buzz with me, Alex, powered by Blicket. These 20 minutes pack the latest trends, news, and insights. Let's navigate the digital marketplace together. Ready? Let's go!
Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of The Checkout Point by Blicket.co. I'm Max, coming to you slightly over-caffeinated as usual, with my fourth cup of coffee in hand.
And I'm Rachel, joining you with my trusty herbal tea, keeping things a bit calmer on my end. We're here to dive into week 26 of the hottest e-commerce trends, news, and strategies. It's going to be quite the jam-packed episode.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what, Rachel? Speaking of hot, I'm super excited that we just published that blog post about Ark.no's limited time offer strategy. It's called How Ark.no's limited time offer strategy skyrocketed sales, insights for every e-commerce leader. It's up on our website now.
Yes, I saw that go live. It's such an intriguing read. I can't wait to dive deeper into it during our show today. It's got some killer strategies that our listeners can definitely draw inspiration from.
Totally. And speaking of today's show, first up, we're going to unpack that Ark.no strategy in detail, talking about how creating urgency and exclusivity can really bump your sales numbers.
Then we've got the lowdown on the big summer sales battles. Amazon, Walmart, and Target are turning up the heat. And we're here to break down who might come out on top this year.
Oh, and you won't believe what's happening with international shipping lately. Massive disruptions that could reshape how we all shop online. That's coming up too.
Plus, we can't forget about Amazon's latest AI advancements. It's like science fiction come to life, transforming how we all experience shopping.
And for our tech-savvy listeners, we're exploring some groundbreaking tech integrations in retail. Everything from smart bridal shops to major expansions in Europe.
Oh, and we're not done yet. We'll also look at how brands are blending technology, personal values, and storytelling to create more authentic shopping experiences.
To cap it all off, we'll get geeky with some of the latest e-commerce tools out there. Those SEO plugins for WordPress and AI strategies making big waves in digital marketing.
Ooh, it sounds like we've got enough lined up to keep us busy. So grab your drinks, folks, be it coffee or tea, and let's get this started.
Exactly, Rachel. Stay tuned, everyone. It's going to be an exciting ride today on The Checkout Point by Blicket.co. Hey, Rachel. Have you ever been totally hooked by those hurry, sale ends soon messages when you're shopping online?
Oh, absolutely, Max. It's like they create this now or never feeling that just makes you want to hit buy before you miss out. It's pretty thrilling, actually.
Exactly, and that's what we dive into in our latest blog post on Blicket.co. It's all about how Ark.no absolutely nailed their limited time offer strategy. And seriously, the results they saw were off the charts.
I loved reading about that. One of the key points was how they created a genuine sense of urgency. Not just slapping a timer on the page, but integrating it with real-time inventory updates and personalized email reminders. It's so smart because it taps into that fear of missing out.
And what's really fascinating is how they honed in on the psychology behind it all. It's not just about making a sale. It's about creating an experience that feels exclusive and urgent.
Right. And another thing the blog post covers, which I found super insightful, was how Ark.no strategically chose which products to put on these time-limited offers. They didn't just randomly pick items. They used data to determine what would likely attract the most buyers during those periods.
Oh, totally. That data-driven approach is gold. It takes the guesswork out. You're not just hoping it works. You're pretty much ensuring it works. It's impressive how using analytics can transform a simple sale into a powerhouse of conversions.
And for any of our listeners running their own e-com sites, this is like peeking into the playbook of a champion team. There's this whole section about aligning the offers with customer expectations and seasonal trends, which could really level up your own strategies.
Speaking of which, I remember working on a project where we tried a similar tactic, Rachel. Remember the holiday rush? When we set up those flash sales, it was hectic but exhilarating watching the sales roll in.
Oh, I remember that. It really showed us firsthand how powerful this strategy can be if done right. Gives me a lot of appreciation for what the team at Ark.no pulled off.
Definitely. So, if any of you are running promotions or even thinking about it, you should really check out the full post. There's a lot more detail there, including some clever do's and don'ts, to make sure these strategies hit the mark without backfiring.
You can find it all at blicket.co. Just look up how Ark.no's limited time. Offer strategy skyrocketed sales. Trust us, it's a fascinating read, and who knows? It might just spark some brilliant ideas for your next big sale.
Plus, let's be honest, who doesn't want to see their sales skyrocket, right? I mean, that's the dream. And with tips from this post, it's a bit more reachable.
Absolutely. It's all about turning that potential into performance. Exciting stuff. Make sure you give it a read and let us know what you think. We'd love to hear about your own experiences with limited time offers or any questions you might have.
All right, so speaking of skyrocketing sales, remember how Ark.no just crushed it with those limited time offers we talked about earlier?
Exactly. And it seems like the big guns, I'm talking Walmart and Amazon, are gearing up for a showdown this July with their overlapping sales events. So Walmart's deal sale is actually overlapping Amazon's Prime Day.
Oh, it's the clash of the titans, Rachel. Check this out. Amazon isn't just doing a day anymore. They're stretching Prime Day to a whopping 4 days, starting July 8th. Talk about a shopping marathon.
4 days? That's seriously a game changer, Max. But here's what I'm wondering. With this big extension, is it still Prime Day? Or should we start calling it Prime Days? It's like when you wait for a weekend and it turns into a week-long festival.
Prime Days Festival, I like that. But, Walmart and Target aren't just sitting back. They've announced their own competing sales. It's like every time Amazon throws a punch, Walmart and Target are ready to swing right back.
It's like Battle Royale, retail edition. But how do you think this stacks up against the strategies like those from Ark.no? Do you think it's just about who can throw the biggest sale?
That's a juicy question. It's both yes and no, right? I mean, Ark.no showed us the power of hyper-targeted, limited-time offers. These big retail giants, on the other hand, seem to be playing a volume game. How many eyeballs can they attract, and how much can they sell in the shortest amount of time?
And it's not just about the discounts either. I'm curious about the impact on their supply chains. Like, remember we're about to dive into the whole mess with USPS suspending mail to various countries next?
Oh yeah, you're hitting the nail on the head. Imagine the logistical ballet happening behind those scenes. Trucks, planes, warehouse staff, all in a symphony to ensure your discounted gadgets and gizmos arrive at your doorstep.
Speaking of which, I have to confess, Prime Day kind of feels like a holiday in my household. We actually mark it on our family calendar. And yes, we synchronize our watches.
Wait, seriously? Like a countdown to midnight, grabbing deals in your pajamas? That's super cool, though. I get it. These sales events create buzz. They're exciting. Retail therapy's real, right?
Oh, absolutely. But I'm not entirely convinced everyone jumps in for the deals. Some of us are just there for the thrill of the hunt. Plus, it's always about finding that one great deal that feels like a treasure reveal in those adventure movies.
Ah, the quest for the mythical best buy in the jungle of online retail. And as these giants try to outdo each other, we're here munching popcorn and watching it unfold. So, Rachel, speaking of big sales events coming up, did you hear that USPS just put a major pause on sending mail to countries like Israel, Iraq, and Iran?
Wait, seriously? That has to throw a wrench in the works for a lot of online sellers, especially with these big sales events.
Exactly. And it's not just USPS. eBay is actually advising sellers to cancel any orders headed to Israel. It's like, just when you thought your deal hunting saga was going down smoothly, plot twist.
That's huge, but why the sudden mail suspension?
Well, it's all about logistics and geopolitical issues. These decisions aren't just made on a whim. It's about ensuring safety and adherence to international shipping regulations, which honestly can change as quickly as the weather.
I see your point, but here's what I'm wondering. This must be super frustrating for both buyers and sellers, right? Imagine you snag a great deal during something like the Walmart deals sale, and then boom, your order can't even be shipped.
Right? And it's a ripple effect, because now sellers have to manage customer expectations, not to mention all the refunds and the operational headache that comes with that. Speaking of which, this makes me think about how technology, like AI, could help ease these pains. With better forecasting and maybe even smarter logistics.
Oh, good link to our next segment on AI advancements in e-commerce. But getting back to this, doesn't it also hit smaller vendors harder? I mean, big companies might absorb these disruptions better, but the small ones?
Super true. The big players probably have the resources to realign their strategies, maybe leverage other shipping options or markets. But the small mom and pop shops, they're really in a pickle.
Right, and I was just thinking about that. For a local small business, every order counts. They're not just losing out on revenue, they're losing visibility and potentially loyal customers.
Definitely. And it's one more reason why communication is key. Sellers need to be upfront with buyers, explain the situation. Transparency could really be the game changer here.
Exactly. Keeping customers in the loop helps maintain trust even when things go south. Plus, maybe this could be a silver lining moment to explore new markets or strengthen domestic sales.
Couldn't agree more. And it's going to be interesting to see how things unfold. Will other shipping services follow suit or find a way around these challenges?
For sure. And with all these advancements in AI and tech, maybe we're closer to solutions than we think. It'll be fascinating to see where this leads.
Absolutely. And talking about technology bringing new solutions, we'll be diving into some of the latest innovations in AI for e-commerce right after this. So, stick around to hear all about how AI is possibly going to change the game for all these logistics woes.
Can't wait to hear more about that.
So, Rachel, hot off the heels of our last chat about supply chain woes, hello, USPS drama. Amazon's making headlines again with their AI upgrades, promising smoother sailing across forecasting, deliveries, and robotics. Can you imagine a world where your package arrives before you even order it?
Wait, seriously? That's wild, Max. I mean, I know it's all about forecasting, but that's like having a crystal ball for shopping. But, speaking of disruptions, Amazon's AI might just be the game changer they need, especially with all those shipping challenges we talked about earlier.
Exactly. It's a bit like setting up a smarter GPS for trucks and drones to not only navigate better, but predict the best routes. Super cool, right? They're basically turning traffic jams and delivery snafus into old news.
Oh, that's clever. But here's what I'm wondering, with all this high-tech AI wizardry, how are the small sellers coping? I read that while easy returns are great for buyers, they are honestly a huge headache for sellers on the platform.
No kidding. It's tough out there. I heard returns are actually starting to slow down a bit, though, which might give some sellers a much-needed break. Let's just hope these AI tools make the whole buying and selling process smoother for everyone involved.
Yes. And stirring into the mix, there are new e-commerce tools that popped up on June 19th, 2025. It seems like there's a tool for everything these days, Max. If only there was an AI to decide what to have for dinner. Now that would be something.
You might be onto something there, Rachel. Imagine a tool that not only suggests meals, but orders the ingredients as you think of them. But seriously, these new tools are all about making e-commerce smarter. Not just faster, but more intelligently connected. Like making sure your new yoga mat arrives on a Zen-like schedule.
Speaking of connections, it's kind of like when we were talking about Shopify next. I'm curious how these AI advancements by big guys like Amazon will influence other players in the e-commerce arena, especially with acquisitions and expansions ramping up in Europe.
That's a super good point. With all these innovations, small players need to step up their game too, or they might just get left behind. It's kind of like being in a digital race where everyone's trying to outpace each other with the flashiest, fastest tech.
And the stakes are high. You slip up on tech, and it's like falling off the treadmill in front of everyone at the gym.
Ouch, been there. Really, though, it's fascinating to see how this tech evolution in e-commerce is shaping up, isn't it? The way all these tools and AI upgrades interlace together, they're crafting a whole new shopping experience.
True, it's not just about buying and selling anymore. It's an entire orchestrated ballet of data, AI, and hopefully fewer accidental returns. Well, unless they figure out a way to make returning stuff fun, I'm all ears.
Now, there's an AI challenge for the eager beavers out there. Make returns fun. Challenge accepted. Anyway, these tech leaps are definitely something to keep an eye on. I can't wait to dig into more of this, especially seeing how Shopify keeps pace in our next segment.
Exactly. This whole tech revolution is reshaping our shopping carts, one AI update at a time. Can't wait to see what's next.
So, jumping right off from our chat on AI and e-commerce, did you catch the news about Domain expanding its Shopify presence in Europe by scooping up code?
Oh, absolutely, Max. It sounds like a major play in the Shopify universe. I mean, acquiring code not only boosts Domain's engineering creds, but also ramps up their European market grip, right?
Exactly. It's kind of like assembling a super team in the tech world. Each company brings its own superpower to the table. In this case, Code's got this deep trove of engineering expertise that's now part of Domain's arsenal.
And speaking of superpowers, have you heard about Burke Jernstrom's new venture, Polar? From his days at Shopify to now raising $10 million for Polar, it's like watching a tech prodigy at play.
Totally. It's super cool, Rachel. He's all about helping developers transform into these AI-powered one-person unicorns. I mean, imagine just sitting in your bedroom and crafting a tech empire single-handedly.
That's the dream, right? But here's what I'm wondering. How accessible is this dream really? Not everyone has Jernstrom's background or connections.
Good point. It does set a pretty high bar. But hey, speaking of setting bars, did you check out what's happening with David's Bridal? They're turning their stores into tech hubs with Shopify's integration.
Wait, seriously? That's a game changer. One wouldn't typically think of a bridal store as a place for tech innovation.
Right? But it's happening. They're essentially marrying retail with tech. Imagine going gown shopping and having this super techy, personalized experience.
I love that. It almost feels like these physical stores are echoing what we just discussed about AI enhancements in e-commerce. There's this unified theme of tech weaving through every thread of retail.
You hit the nail on the head. And imagine the data they could collect to further personalize the shopping experience. If a bride spends extra time looking at a certain style, boom, show her similar options.
Sounds like every shopper's fantasy. But also, it brings a human element back to the tech-heavy trends we see. There's a robotics side in e-commerce we talked about earlier, but here it's technology enhancing personal, meaningful moments.
Exactly. And navigating through that tech-laden path without losing the human touch is what will distinguish winners from the pack in the long haul. Oh, and speaking of which, it'll be fascinating to dovetail this into our next segment about how family and faith blend into e-commerce strategies.
I can't wait to unpack that. It's like exploring the soul behind the strategies. But until then, let's keep our eyes on how these technological integrations continue to reshape our everyday experiences.
So, zooming out from the specifics of Shopify, like we discussed earlier with Domain's move in Europe, let's dive into the broader world of e-commerce strategy and marketing. I've got this really cool article here about how faith and family values are weaving into e-commerce brands. What do you think about that blend, Rachel?
I was just thinking about that. It's fascinating how personal values are becoming part of brand identities. It's like brands are now part of the family, right? And people seem to really connect with that. It's not just about selling anymore. It's about relating and belonging.
Exactly. And speaking of relating, this ties back to that Domain acquisition. They're expanding their expertise, right? It's another layer of how businesses are weaving deeper narratives into their fabric, like they're inviting customers to a dinner table conversation.
Oh, absolutely. And sticking with the theme of connection, another piece I came across talks about AI and marketing, like Think. A computer that doesn't just crunch numbers, but actually thinks about your marketing strategy. AI becoming a cornerstone for growth is super cool, but I'm not entirely convinced yet. How do you see that playing out?
Here's the deal. Imagine you're playing a video game and your AI companion not only follows you around, but also starts giving you tips on which quests to take based on what it learns about your playing style. That's kind of what agentic AI does for marketing. It learns from patterns and starts making decisions to boost growth.
Wait, seriously? That's like having a super smart marketing sidekick then? I guess it could really help smaller companies compete on a bigger stage without hiring a huge team.
Totally. And this is not just about throwing out random ads, but creating smarter, more personalized experiences. Like tailoring the perfect playlist that somehow always knows what you want to hear next.
That's such a good point. And speaking of personalization, there's this other article about building brands that really connect with people. It mentioned that it's not enough to just have a good logo or a catchy jingle anymore. Brands need to tell a story that resonates on a personal level.
Storytelling, always a game changer. Reminds me of how we talked about Shopify practices before, about not just selling products, but selling experiences or ideas that stick with you.
And that's what people remember, right? Like how you always bring up that infamous taco ad with the space cats. It's silly, but it sticks.
Right? But here's what I'm wondering. With all these advanced tools and AI we talked about, how do brands keep that human touch? You don't want to feel like you're just talking to a robot.
Good question. I think it's about balance. Using tech to understand and serve your audience better without losing that, oh, what's the word? Authenticity.
Nailed it. And with the upcoming chat about new e-commerce tools next, man, I can't wait to see how these new advancements help brands keep or maybe even enhance that authentic connection.
Oh, for sure. It's going to be super interesting to see how tech and genuine brand building weave together moving forward.
Absolutely, it's like crafting the perfect blend of tech and tradition. Can't wait to dive into that. All right, Rachel, let's dive right into something super cool in the world of e-commerce. The latest tools and plugins that are shaking things up.
I was just reading about that. There's a lot of buzz around these new tools that launched on June 19th. Actually, it ties in nicely with what we were discussing earlier about e-commerce strategy. You know how businesses are looking to make their online platforms more effective.
Exactly that. It's all about optimizing, whether it's your family-run shop or a massive enterprise. So, speaking of optimizations, check this out. There's a list of the best SEO tools and plugins for WordPress sites specifically for enterprises.
SEO is crucial. It's like the digital age's storefront display. If you're invisible to Google, you're invisible to customers. But here's what I'm wondering, are these tools complicated to use? Because I hear from a lot of folks that SEO can be a bit like rocket science to the uninitiated.
Ah, you nailed it, Rachel. However, imagine this. Instead of rocket science, make it as simple as pie. Or better yet, like snapping together Lego bricks to form a fortress. These tools are built to be user-friendly. They're like your DIY kit for SEO.
Oh, I just have to jump in here because that's such a good point. Making these tools accessible means businesses of any size can step up their game without needing a specialist, which, let's be real, is super important for those smaller family businesses we talked about before.
Right? And, let's toss in a fun fact here. Did you see that one of the plugins is actually using AI to suggest SEO improvements? It's like having a little robot buddy who whispers, Google's secrets to make your site pop.
Wait, seriously? That's amazing. But I'm not entirely convinced yet. Isn't relying on AI risky? I mean, what if it suggests something that isn't quite right for your brand?
Well, it's more like a collaboration, I'd say. The AI offers suggestions based on data, tons of data. Then you, the human with the brand vision, make the final call. It's about enhancing your decisions, not replacing them.
That's reassuring. It sounds like a game changer for anyone trying to manage their online presence more efficiently. Plus, these tools could cut down on so many hours spent analyzing and optimizing manually.
Totally. And it's fun to imagine what these tools might evolve into next. Perhaps an AI that not only suggests improvements, but can also make you a perfect cup of coffee while it optimizes your website.
Now you're speaking my language, Max. Coffee and enhanced SEO? Sign me up. But seriously, it'll be interesting to see how these developments impact e-commerce strategies across all scales of business.
For sure, Rachel. It'll definitely level the playing field for smaller players who want to compete with the big dogs. And with these tools, they just might have a fighting chance.
Here's to hoping these tools deliver on their promises and really help businesses shine online. It'll be fascinating to watch how e-commerce continues to evolve with tech like this.
Couldn't agree more. Let's keep an eye on these tools and catch up in a future episode to see what new innovations have popped up.
Looking forward to it, Max?
Wow, Rachel, that's it for this week's whirlwind tour through the e-commerce world. Week 26 sure had some spicy updates, huh?
Absolutely, Max. I was particularly intrigued by how Ark.no has managed to turn shopping into such a compelling experience with their limited time offers. It's like they've cracked the code on shopper psychology.
For sure. It makes you want to jump in and start crafting deals of your own. But hey, learning about those international shipping disruptions was something else. It's like a whole drama series in the world of shipping.
Definitely gives us a lot to think about, especially how interconnected everything is. And speaking of connections, wasn't the discussion about integrating personal values into marketing fascinating? It's like brands are really starting to understand the power of storytelling.
Oh, absolutely. They're not just selling products anymore. They're selling experiences and stories. It makes you think about the things we buy in a whole new light. And joke time. Speaking of new light, I think some brands have seen the light with those advancements in AI, don't you think?
That's one way to put it, Max. The whole landscape of how we shop online is being transformed before our eyes. And I really hope our listeners found these discussions as eye-opening as we did.
Yep, and if you loved hanging out with us today, diving deep into the secrets of e-commerce, we'd love it if you joined us again next week. We'll have more news, insights, and yes, I promise, more of my terrible jokes.
And don't forget to check out Blicket.co for more cool resources to keep you ahead in the e-commerce game. We're here to help you navigate these exciting and often complex waters.
Until next time, keep innovating, stay curious, and we'll catch you next week for another episode packed with everything e-commerce. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone. Keep exploring and asking the big questions. We can't wait to share more with you soon. See you next week.